Good morning. Good Sunday morning, everybody. Live Farmer 73 here. Didn't want absolutely nothing today. I just want to see if anybody had any questions about anything whatsoever. What's weird is I get questions in my emails, I get questions in my comments, and I can't answer them when they're live like that, when I'm totally talking about something completely different. So I'm leaving the platform open for questions. Usually I'm live and y'all know I'm either rattling off or we completely talking about something completely, utterly different. And that's when all the questions come. I go back and I watch the live stream. Good morning, everybody. I go back and watch the live streams, and it's a lot of good questions in the live stream that I just missed. One other thing that I figured out, when you go live on YouTube alone, YouTube lags about, I'm going to say about 15 seconds. But when you add StreamYard onto that, it lags about 30 seconds or more. So I ask a question and I go on and on and on, wait for them. And then I'm like, all right, 30 seconds is about up. And I just kind of move on. About a minute later, somebody answers that, or somebody brings it to my attention about a minute later. And I'm like, it has to be YouTube. YouTube plus StreamYard is just that much more lag. So again, good morning, everybody. Open forum if you have any questions whatsoever about anything. It doesn't have to be about camp. It can be about gardening. It can be about camp. It could be about prepping, survival, anything you want to do, because I have a lot to talk about and I just don't want to get started. I just don't want to get started. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Black, Delgada, Lily, Benji TV, Regina, Norma, Molly, Amanda, Willie, Talea, Rico, Gail, Belinda, Adriana, Miss G, Samantha. The everyday life of an OCD-ish chick. I can say that now. I've been practicing. Danica, Latanya, Gail. Good morning, everybody. Do you have any questions whatsoever? I'm trying not to ramble on off into a subject because y'all know me. Y'all know me by now. If you think you know me now, y'all already know. Come on now. Any questions? Oh, I don't want to start with a question because it's going to take me down that alley. So I'm hoping y'all got a question, because I have one question that everybody keeps asking me, and I want to just put it out there. So if I don't have a question, I'm gonna just go ahead and ask the question that I keep seeing on the comment section, and then I'm gonna go from there. How you doing? Harper, I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. Harper, it's your first live. Well, welcome to the Greenhouse Lounge, Greenhouse Cafe. Good morning, Guap. Learning to grow my own. What's going on, brother? It's been a while, man. I haven't seen you. It's good to see you, though. Diane, Regina. Okay. Who just said that? Go ahead and put out the question. Good question. Soil Soldier 70. When is the next survival camp? It is February 2nd through the 5th in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, at Myrtle Beach State Park. If you want to register, you can register through our website at easilygrowngarden.com/products. If you try to go through the park, they're going to take you a whole nother direction, and you might end up somewhere else that don't have anything to do with the Greenhouse Lounge Camp Survival Party. Okay, here's a good one. I hope I answered that. If you have any questions, you can contact ladyled73@yahoo.com. That's my wife, and she can answer any of those questions for you, okay? Here we go. We got it. Wait, got a question. Got a question. V Good says, have you ever thought about being an expat? If so, where? What do you mean? What do you mean? Explain that for me. Because I'm not sure I even understand what your question is. V Good. Make sure y'all put a question mark behind the question, or I might miss it. Okay, because I'm looking at statements. I see a question, but I thought it was a statement. Good thing I'm paying attention. I'm gonna answer this, and then I get back to you, V Good. Okay. Are Bourgeois V solar panels compatible with EcoFlow Delta 2? I purchased one with your code Prime Days. Yes, they are, but if they have 8mm barrel plugs, what you have to do is buy a 8mm barrel plug to MC4 adapter. Okay. Yes, they are compatible with EcoFlow products, but you just have to, you're going to have to do that anyway, because so many different companies have different compatibilities. You're going to have to purchase a compatible, and most Bourgeois V solar panels have 8mm barrel plugs. So get the 8mm barrel plug to MC4 connector adapter. So that should help you out. Okay. Hey, Crafty Leo, how you doing? V Good, I'm still waiting on you. Okay. Explain what your question was so I can answer it properly. Hey, Jaya's experiences. Hey, Crafty Leo. Nina Henderson, family, you're one of the best. Thank you. In California, where is a good place to go for all the good? Nina, I don't know what that means. The emojis, I don't, present 100, earth, fire, I don't know. And I don't live in California, so I don't know what, number one, what you're looking for. Number two, where that is in California. So I don't know. You might want to rephrase that so I can get it. Hey, VLS. How you doing, Cheryl, the garden artist? I'm moving down slow because I'm trying to get the questions. V Good, my friend, you got to explain please explain everything, right? Type everything, because you just giving me little tips and pieces, and I don't. Just type the whole thing out for me, okay? Living in a country outside the US. Let me go back and try to see. I can't keep going back because it's too many folks. Please type out the whole question in detail, and I'll read the whole thing, okay? We got time today, all right? Because I can't go all the way back because there's so many people between this and that. Type out the whole thing so I can answer it. I really want to answer you because I want to know what you're talking about. I see that, Q-Dub. I'm talking about, I want to hear the exact whole thing because I will answer it half cockeyed, and I don't want to do that. Hey, Bob, your question is, how do aliens farm? Just like this. Wait a minute. Just like this, Bob. Good morning, Bob. Let me see. Belinda, what do you feed your elderberry if it is in a container and has multiple side shoots? What do you feed your elderberry if it's in a container? Are you talking about a cutting? If you purchase one of my elderberry cuttings right now, you shouldn't be feeding it anything. Anything. That elderberry is going to take off all by itself. Matter of fact, I have one right here. And see the roots starting to grow down there at the bottom here? You shouldn't be feeding it anything. Even if you put it in a pot of soil, you shouldn't be feeding it anything. Elderberries don't need anything to grow. You put them in some soil and they'll just start growing. So I don't feed my elderberries anything. Now, if you're talking about while they're in the ground and they're growing nicely or they're established in a pot, I still don't feed them anything. I have never, ever, never, ever, this true story, ever, never, ever, ever fertilized nor composted elderberry, ever. I have Mother Nature took care of my elderberry. I have never done anything to it. I hope that answered your question. What's up, J3GS Farm? What's going on, my brother? It's good to see you. Okay, Norma says, can you grow a plum tree from a seed from the store? Yes, you can. I answer these questions all the time. Yes, you can grow a plum tree, but it may not taste like the plum that you just purchased. You may plant a plum tree. Say you plant an elephant heart plum. You may get a sour plum. Remember this. Try to keep this in your brain. Fruit seeds are no different. Well, I ain't gonna say that because people get picky about that. Fruit seeds are kind of like humans. Just because this dude and this lady had a baby, that does not mean that baby is gonna look identical to that father or identical to that mother. That baby might look like grandpa or Uncle William or something. That's it. You don't know what genetics you're dealing with when you do that. Okay, it's no different. So yes, you can grow a plum tree, whether that next tree is edible, gives edible fruit, or gives the fruit that you planted. That's a hell of a gamble because you got to wait years before that thing fruits, and then you wait all them years just to find out this thing is growing some turds on the branch that you just don't want to have nothing to do with. So yes, you can grow them from seed, but it's a gamble. How you doing growing what I eat? Keep the questions coming. I'm still looking for V. Okay, here we go. Are there any possible slumber party locations or environments in the future? What other possible slumber party locations? Listen, I'm going to talk more in depth on that because what we're starting to figure out, we're going to have to start different chapters of this because me trying to go to every city and town in America is almost impossible, especially on my financial budget, as it's impossible. So what we'll end up doing is starting chapters, and I'm talking to a couple of people about that right now. Okay. I will try to make it, but you know how it is. Okay. But thanks for that question. That's a good question. I keep answering that one too. Okay. Let's keep it rolling. I'm gonna keep it rolling. I'm gonna keep it going because I'm gonna try to keep it on time too. I'm gonna try. Sweet Thumb in the house. I see everyday life of OCD is chick. See, I can see it. I can say it fast too now. Just hollered at you. So hey, what's going on? Okay, here we go. V good. Have you ever thought about living outside of the U.S.? And if so, where? No. No. Absolutely not. I'm glad you asked. Absolutely not. No way. Nope. And I'm going to give you a reason why no is my answer. The reason no is my answer is because it's so much here in the United States alone that I have never seen ever, never, ever. Like every time I leave my state and travel through business, I discover something new. I discover some small township or some small city or something here is something new every time I leave my hometown, right? So I'm 50 years old, and it seems like I never stop learning about my own birthplace, my own home in America. I just can't go somewhere and I haven't even discovered everything about where I already live at. And I'm going to extend on that a little bit. And I'm going to get a lot of people kind of flustered with this, what I say, but I mean it what I say because it's my opinion. We're so busy looking up at the stars. We're so busy looking up at the stars, wondering if it's aliens, wondering if it's life on other planets, wondering if we can actually go live on another planet. We're so busy trying to look elsewhere to find something else beautiful that we've never discovered, that we're not looking under our own feet. It's creatures down in that ocean. We have never seen any of it. There's creatures down in that ocean that you could actually consider an alien because you've never seen it before, right? We don't try to discover how to make our own planet right, how to fix our own planet right here on Earth, and probably all the answers to do it is right there in the doggone water. But we so busy looking at the star, we spending trillion, billion dollars shooting these little rocket ships up into outer space, trying to find a better place to live and try to find something better while we're sitting here, can't even figure nothing out on this rock. What I do in my life ain't no different. It's no reason for me necessarily to move to another country when I haven't even figured out everything here that could help me in my life. So I feel that way immensely. I'm not saying I would never go visit another country because Africa is in my radars. I got a whole passport and everything. But to go and live somewhere else, no, I don't see no reason I need to do that. It's a lot of people picking up and leaving and going to other countries and everything like that. But what they're doing, it reminds me of a relationship. You've had a bad relationship with this man here. So you saying, well, I'm never going to date this kind of man again because I had a bad experience with that. So I'm going to move all the way over here and just start dating this type of man, okay, from now on. So I see a lot of ladies do that and find out this man is a jerk too, right? Maybe it's her and her picking qualities. What she's looking for might be screwed up. So it's no different to me. You go one place trying to escape one thing and you just basically fall right into a whole nother ball of crap. What is ways, no, I'm not going to pick up, learn another language, learn another lifestyle. A lot of people do it. Our friends here in the Greenhouse Lounge, African Dreaming, they live in Africa and woo, I salute them. Me personally, I couldn't do it. And there's nothing against my motherland. It's just, I just couldn't do it. It's just so much here for me to try to still figure out. Okay. So I hope that answered your question. All right. I went on a little too long with that, but I wanted to make sure I explained it thoroughly. Hey, Lid, are you still growing sugarcane? I absolutely am. And it's out at Freedom Acres right now as we speak. Hey, growing what I eat. How you doing, my friend? I'm going to keep it going. I know I'm way behind. Okay, hold on. Got that. All right. Here's another question. Number one solar generator for RV. There is no such thing. There is no number one solar generator for an RV. There is no such animal. You got to know what kind of RV you got. How big is your RV? How much energy, how many air conditioners do you have? How many refrigerators do you have? How much energy does your refrigerator and your air conditioner and your microwave and your stove, how much energy does that use? You have to figure out your vehicle. How much energy does it drink? And that will help you pick the proper solar power generator. Okay. I hope that helped you. There is no such animal. And please don't let nobody tell you, because I could say, oh, the EcoFlow Delta Max 2. You might have a 48-footer or something, I don't know, with about 4 air conditioners. I've seen them tour buses. and I got you buying 2,000 watts of power, and you probably need like 8,000 watts of power, I'm not going to say that. For instance, well, I'm going to move on. But yeah, there is no such thing. Okay. About to start some indoor bush beans using natural sun and growing lights. Any tips? Nope. Sound like you got that going pretty good. Indoor bush beans? So you're going to keep them indoors, or you just starting them indoors? No, I don't have any tips if you're just going to be growing them in the house. But good question. Thank you. I see. I like doing this instead of me rambling off. Okay, here we go. Jay's experience said, my elderberry plant I bought from you over a year ago was blown over while I was away and died. Are you done selling cuttings? No, they're still online right now. We still have elderberry cuttings online. As a matter of fact, we're playing catch up, and we just sent the last of them out for everybody just wondering where your cuttings are. We're sorry about the late delivery, but we wanted to send you good quality stuff. Okay. So sorry about that. We didn't know the orders was going to be that many, and we didn't know. We forgot about, I ain't gonna blame it on her. I forgot about survival camp, or I would have waited till after survival camp to let everybody know about the cuttings. And just so everybody know, the reason why we're selling all of these cuttings is because we are literally packing and moving. If I showed you my house right now, you wouldn't even believe it unless you've moved before. We got stuff in boxes. We got everything I just brought back from camp. I just kind of lightweight put in boxes because everything is going to Freedom Acres. We are leaving here. We are leaving Easley Island. So this will be the last of everything around here that the cuttings, that's going to be it. But right now we do still have elderberry cuttings if you're interested. Thank you. What size Delta generator would you recommend for powering a small freezer? I wouldn't. As a matter of fact, if you look behind me here, I have a 12-volt DC refrigerator freezer, probably can hold almost the same amount of food as your small freezer, like I got sitting here in front of me. This only uses 34 watts of power. 34 watts. Your deep freezer in your garage or in your pantry probably uses, the smallest one is probably going to be using 300 to 400 watts when that compressor kick on. This don't. So I always try to steer people away from that. If you just dead set on running that big deep freezer, you said what Delta generator? All of the Delta generators will run that. All of them, the Delta Pro, the Delta Max 2, the Delta Max, the Delta, all of them will run it. The real question is, how long will they run it? A Delta Max 2 is 2,000 watt hours. That's 2,000 watts you got to play with. If your deep freezer is pulling 400 watts, that means it will keep your deep freezer on for maybe 4 hours. If your compressor is constantly running, it will run that for a little over 4 hours. So just to give you some insight, because it's using 400 watts. Remember, 400 divided into 2,000. So that's what we're doing. So you're going to get a roughly about 4, right? 4 and some change. Hope that answered your question. We're going to keep on moving. All right. Asia says, have you ever thought about leaving the U.S.? What country would it be? V means, oh, I got that. Yeah, no, absolutely not. No, no. I know a lot of people, they really want to leave and stuff. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Just me personally, I see no reason to leave, even though I know everybody is talking about, I've heard people talk about the politics and the ways and the crooked ways of our government and stuff here in the United States. But I also want to say, have you seen the news in the last 20 years about everywhere else? It's no different. It's no different at all. The corruption in every other country is just as corrupt. The only difference is they don't have the media that we have. They don't just blurt out everything that happens on their news systems like we do. They cover it all up and it doesn't go worldwide. But corruption, look at all the people in these other countries keep getting smoked, right? And that's when the U.S. reports it, because we finally, Ambassador such and such has just disappeared itself. You dig what I'm saying? That's when we hear it, but we don't even know the disruptions going on in other places until it gets so dire that it finally leaks over into our media. I got it out the soil. Said Led just got my elderberry cutting in the mail yesterday. Thank you for that. Thank you. We getting them out. They good and out of here. Okay, here we go. Another question. Hi, I just made it. What are we talking about? What knowledge we giving today? Nothing. We just hanging out. Okay. This is okay. Bought it last year from a cutting and it has 5 different plants on it. Now the tips are turning brown. Is it in a container? If it's in a container, you're just not giving it. I wouldn't. I think you're the one that said you're growing your elderberry in a container. Elderberry should not be in a container. Elderberry is a rooting plant like a blackberry or a raspberry. It grows from its roots. So if it's in a container, it doesn't have anywhere else to go to spread. So that's when you're going to have a really big problem. There's certain plants and stuff you just don't put. It's not to be contained. It reminds me of myself. I can't be contained. Let me see. I'm gonna keep going here. Keep going. Wait a minute. All right. I'm having a hard time growing squash. It only produces the flowers, but not the fruit. I grow it every year from seeds, but no foods. What's up with that? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. That's the hardest part. I do not know what you're feeding it. I don't know how you're watering it. The only way I could answer that and be honest with you, I would have to know exactly what you're doing, because I could give you ways to make that thing flower, but maybe my way will make things worse because maybe you're already doing that. So I can't answer that properly and give you sound advice, because I would really need to know what you're doing in your garden. Okay. Let me see. I want to be in a safe place for growing food, living off grid. California is supposed to be falling in the ocean. Big city, I wouldn't want to be caught up and unable to provide my own food. You want to live in a safe place for growing food. Okay. Living off grid. Okay. So you want to live off grid. Okay. California, they're supposed to be falling in the ocean. I can't say anything about California falling in the ocean. I know that's been said my entire life. I don't know. We never know the day that anything is going to happen. So give me, what question are you asking? Like, should you leave California? Because I can't decide that for you. If you're thinking about leaving California to live off grid, I would listen. This video almost turned into that because I got a lot to talk about off grid. That's why we camp, because it puts reality in your head real quick. Even though we're at a state by friends and family, living off grid outside all the time, you pretty much live outside. It gets really real quick. And a lot of people see it on YouTube and it look glamorous and cute. It's not. I promise you it's not. So just tell me if that's your plan, you're trying to leave California for those reasons. Here we go. I need my lemon tree to grow faster in a pot. I don't know what to tell you. The only thing I can tell you is you have to be patient. That is that simple. Growing fruit trees in containers, growing fruit trees, period. If you do not have patience, and I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people ain't going to like it. If you do not have patience when it comes to gardening, find something else to do. I know that's rough, but I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I hear this all the time. I just bought this fruit tree last year in a sale, and I've had it in the ground for a year. It's about as big as my thumb around, but it ain't giving me no fruit. If you don't have patience, you truly need to find something else to do, because gardening is the ultimate teacher of patience. Simple. And if you don't have patience, you need to pick up another hobby, because you can't force Mother Nature to do anything. You just can't. All right, I'm gonna keep it moving. Keep it moving. Let me. All right. Is it the end of the world as we know it? It's the end of the world only for you, my friend. Only for you. Okay. Only for you. Hey, Led, showing love from Atlanta. Just received my elderberry cutting. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Let me keep on going. My 2 fig cuttings I bought from you are growing. So excited. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Let me keep going. Well, here we go. Tiffany says, hey, everyone, feeling defeated with my patio garden today. So I'm just here for good energy. Don't feel, I'm going to say this. I've been gardening most of my life, and I'm going to say this for everybody, whether you're a new gardener, old gardener, whatever, and all of us OG gardeners just watching me right now. J3GS Farms is one of them right off the top of my head. This was a Kenny Rogers roaster of a year. It was so historically hot this year. If your garden failed, especially a patio garden, meaning they probably in containers, don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about that. Okay. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Do not feel bad. It was so hot. I have seen some of my fruit trees do things that I have never seen them do before. Matter of fact, it has killed certain things that I've never seen. I thought they could go through drought. Not this kind. So don't feel bad, Tiffany. Okay. A lot of us had some challenging times in the garden this year. That's another reason why I said I'm not gardening. I closed all my gardens here and started moving my garden stuff to Freedom Makers. I was like, this is a perfect time for me to transition my garden, because ain't no need in me wasting my time out here. Wasting my time and my compost or my water. So don't feel bad, my sister. Don't feel bad. I'm moving on down here. I'm trying to stay questions, so I keep moving fast. How you doing, Miss Green? Okay. VLS says, I'm a wife, a mother, and a grandmother. I started my garden this past spring, and I'm obsessed. How do I encourage my husband and children to take this prepping seriously? You can't. You don't. And I'm going to say this, and this is my own opinion. I can't speak about your household. You cannot force anybody to take prepping seriously, gardening seriously. They got to get knocked over the head and feel it for themselves. I've been trying to tell my kids about all this, and they're pretty good at it. They've been watching me all their lives. But just recently, my daughter, Princess Leia, is feeling the burn. So, she's my little bougie princess with her pinky out. All of a sudden, she remembering that thug life where we came from, because she ready to go get dirty out on the land and take her part. And we gave all my kids, each one of my kids have an acre of land. We gave each one of them an acre off of our land. Now she ready to move out there. She's about to move out there because life happened. Life kicked her dead in the grapes. And now it's kind of like, you got options. So until some people really, until their lights go out, until their water get cut off, until, food stops coming in, they don't learn, and it's too late. That's just how it is. I do not try to convince the rest of my entire family how to prep, save food, money, gas. Everybody in this house, though, if you live under my roof, and now I remember too, I'm the husband, so I'm the last line of defense. So if you want to live under my roof, you roll with me. And this is how I live. So plain and simple. Once they live out there in the world, I don't care what they do. But don't try to force anybody to do anything, because that'll just turn them off. If you try to force somebody to lose weight, if you try to force somebody to stop smoking, when you force people to do stuff that make them, even as a child, make them do the opposite, right? It literally make them do the opposite. So don't force them. You just got to keep being the pillar of your community and doing your role. Like, it's certain things I do here, even though when they live out in that world, they on their own, I ain't gonna let my babies crumble, So I got all of my son is married. My oldest boy is married. So I got him and his wife a bug out bag. They don't know it. Princess Leia got a bug out bag. Now my baby boy upstairs, he got one because he live here. But I ain't gonna let him falter. But I ain't gonna make it easy on him either. I need to see some blood first before I pass this bag on to him for the equipment. I need to see a little bit of blood leaking. All right, I'm gonna keep on going here. I know I sound harsh, but family, these days you gotta be harsh, or people will run you right on over. Diane says, and that is true, Led. I'm growing my lemon tree from seed, and it haven't given me any fruit yet. It's 6 years old now. I literally have a seed that I planted about 3 years ago, and I did a video for my friend Dan Permaculture Food Force, because he plants a lot of things from seeds. He plant mangoes, he plant everything from seed, right? Guavas. So I did a video for him. I planted a mango, a guava, and I planted some lemon seeds. I have a lemon tree out on Freedom Acres right now, and it don't look like a lemon. That's because all it's going to end up being is a root stock. I'm going to cut those off and I'm going to graft onto it. But it's the truth. Hey, Delgado, how you doing? Let me keep going. Keep going. I'm going to keep on going. No problem, Belinda. Here we go. This is a good one. TLC in the garden. There you go. How you doing, sister? Say, you can use the lemon tree as rootstock. Yep, I just said that. You can use the lemon tree as rootstock to graft onto, use the leaves for tea, not producing fruit. Amen. Amen for that. Amen. Okay. Let me see. Somebody said they would suggest making it fun and interesting, and I'm sure they're talking about prepping and gardening. That's what we do here in the Greenhouse Lounge. When we go camping, we're not doing it like some kind of military covert operational. No, we like to have a good time, because what it does is makes it more palatable you know, especially for first time campers, first time gardeners. Make it more palatable. Some people make things complicated and difficult. They do this on purpose, okay? They make things look and sound more complicated and difficult for one reason, because they want to sound like they know something that you don't know and you have to go through them to learn it. That's not my thing. You know, I always told people, dig a hole, put the plant in the hole, cover up the hole, water the hole, feed the hole, eat the fruit. That's what's going to happen. All that other stuff is just for fluff or somebody's ego. Okay? Just make it fun. They'll catch on. Thank you for that, Tim. Let me get my butt some water. This coffee's so strong. No good as well. I should have been had some water. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. I'm going to keep it going, keep it going. Thank you, Daphne Brooks. Thank you. What's up, B Rich? Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Say, what's up, lad, in the chat? If you had a budget of $2,000 to spend on solar power, what brand and what panels and why? I can. Somebody just asked me that at camp. And you know what? I hate to say it because y'all gonna think it's a plug because I'm affiliated. But it's just the truth. And I can only speak on things I've had experience with. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. My EcoFlow stuff is right here. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to do a video that has no affiliation with EcoFlow whatsoever. So you will not see a symbol come up saying, you know, this is a paid advertisement. You're going to see me. And I want you to see exactly, matter of fact, I'm going to make it live. So you can see exactly how the EcoFlow deltas and the gas generator combined with the solar panels, how they work. I had them at camp set up. It was tripping people out. Just saying. Be Rich, email me, bro. That's a good question, but right now I'm stuck on them. I'm a fanboy right now, and it ain't got nothing to do with my affiliation. This is a good one. What's up, broke farmer in the house? What's up, man? Here's a good one. What kind of wood burning stove do you have in your bell tent? I have the Camp Chef wood burning stove. That's a bad boy. I have a smaller one, and I got to remember the name of it. With the little fold-up legs. That's a bad boy, too. But that Camp Chef, my smaller wood burning stove, you got to keep feeding that thing. When you go to sleep, you got to keep waking up and keep on putting little sticks in there. That Camp Chef wood burning stove is so big, I throw whole logs in that thing and they burn half the night. You may have to get up maybe once if you like it nice and toasty. Throw another whole log in there. I'm going to show you that too. Camp Chef wood stove. There's a reason why it's so pricey. I showed that Camp Chef wood stove last year. Everybody said, I'm not paying $300 for no stove for no tent, because it ain't just no tent camp stove. That's why. You can put that in your house. You can put that in your tiny home. You can put that in your shed. You can put it in your workshop, and it's going to heat up that whole thing. So it's a reason why I think it's like $269 or something like that, close to $3-ish. It's a reason for it, because it's a real stove. It's not just it's not a gimmick. You ain't going to be picking it up, taking it everywhere, because it's heavy as all get out. Camp Chef wood stove, no affiliation. Let me see. I'm new to prepping. I started my garden. What do you suggest I focus on next to build up my preps? And how do I encourage my family to join? Oh, I think I answered you already. Somebody even said, just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. You know, let them taste that good food. Usually what I see when people don't want to help you garden, once they start tasting them good strawberries and all that fresh food and realize this don't taste like what it tastes like in the store, you might see one of your kids out there helping you one day, pulling weeds or something. Your husband or your wife might wander out there and wonder what you're doing. Well, I want you to go with me, so I'm gonna hurry up and help you. Trust me, I'm a whole dude. I know what we do. We don't want to say we in the garden helping nobody. Next thing you know, they'll be in the garden more than you is. I've seen this story 100 times. Any gardeners in here have seen that stories 100 times over. Hey, Farmer Marshall, how you doing? Fat guy with guns in here somewhere? Let me find him. Brother, I gotta talk to you. I can't see him. But fat guy with guns in the house, J3G Farm just seen you. Where did you go? Oh man, where did you go? All right, I'm gonna keep moving on. My brother Zach is in the house. Okay. How are the feathered girls? Well, hey, Toya's Pantry. I actually took some video of them yesterday. I'm going to put it in my community post so you actually get a chance to see how they're doing out on Freedom Acres. So they're doing great. I'm gonna show you that. All right. Thank you for that, TLC in the garden. Am I that far behind? I know I am. Let me keep going. The elderberry steak sold out. Okay. I have her fix that immediately. Okay. Thank you to Off-Grid Trucker. I sure enough appreciate that. Thank you for that. For everybody that's seeing the elderberry cuttings is sold out, I will talk to her and see, because I got some extra cuttings left over. I had way more than I thought I did. So we have those on the side. About you went too fast for the cuttings. That's okay. We got them. Are you working on fall garden yet? What are you growing? Not really. Because again, I'm in a transition of moving from one state to another state. I am literally, when y'all see me back and forth from the land, you have no idea what kind of drive that is, back and forth. And every single time I go to our land, I take a trailer full of something. Every time. So right now, I don't want to start planting a garden out there and I can't stay on top of it. And I'm gonna touch on that real quick, homesteading DIY. I'm gonna say this because something I see, something I notice, and I want to say my piece on it. I've heard a lot of, Led, why aren't you gardening anymore? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I garden for real. That's why. I'm not gardening at this very moment because I know that I am not going to be able to give that garden the full attention that I know it needs. The climate from Where I am here and where my land is totally different, like totally different. It's always about 5 to 10 degrees hotter on Freedom Acres. It's out in the open and it's just different terrain. So I know I will not be there to water my garden every single day the way it should be. I will not be there to feed it every single day the way it needs to be. And then what you have is I'm gardening to make videos for YouTube. It's not what I do. That's not what I'm about. And when you do that, it's real easy to get lost in YouTube world. You know, like when you say, I just grew a tomato. You've been gardening for this long, but you grew a tomato. That's a video for YouTube. That's not you truly. You understand what I'm saying? So it's easy for me to get caught up in that, and I try to separate myself from that. I have done it. I am guilty by association. I have done that and done something just to make a video to show somebody. And the biggest part is I want to stay away from that. And when I garden, I want to give my garden the passion that I used to truly give my garden. Okay, it got me started on this channel in the first place. When you do that and you leave YouTube out of your gardening business, literally, you have a more productive video, because most of the time you're more interested in that perfect shot. A lot of us YouTube gardeners, true story, go ahead, throw it up, raise your hand, don't lie to yourself. You will wait to leave that fruit on the tree one more day, because tomorrow the color gonna be deeper, prettier, and I want to catch it when the dew is on the apple in the morning. And you know what? You wake up and that apple is gone. A possum, raccoon, or deer done ate the fruit, and you sitting there looking stupid. All the fruit off the tree, all the mulberries, blackberries, blueberries gone. The birds done got them, all because you waited. You waited to make a YouTube video on it. You have no idea how many gallons, listen to me close, gallons of honey that I have let get away because I kept waiting, because I wanted to do a YouTube video when I removed the honey. Kept waiting. Come out there, those bees left the hive and they took the honey with them. And I'm sitting there looking stupid. Like, so that's why I pulled so much honey this year, because I didn't care about no YouTube video. We got more honey than that I didn't even record. So I haven't started my fall garden yet, and that's the reason. I don't want to half-ass it. I don't want to YouTube it. I mean, I ain't saying I ain't going to record it. What I'm saying is I don't want my sole purpose to be growing my food is to make a YouTube video. I want to grow my food to feed my family. That's pretty much the outcome of that. Let me keep going on the question, but that was an excellent question. So thank you for that, homesteading DIY. Thank you. Here we go. Do you grow raspberries? Absolutely, I do. Tips on how to grow them. I had one in a 10-gallon and it died. Get that. Raspberries don't grow in containers. Raspberries need to be in the ground. I know they sell them. I forget the one raspberries they call them. They like cute. They make it cute. The name is something cute. Get them blackberries and get them raspberries in the ground. You put those blackberries and raspberries in the ground because they spread by root. They need to spread. Those containers, that just be for a gimmick. Blueberries love containers. Blueberries can live in containers forever. Raspberries, blackberries, they spread through their roots. They got to be in the ground. You got to let them run free. Let me keep it going. I like this. I need to shut up more often. Let me see. Don't the flowers have to be pollinated? Plant some bee balm in pollinator flowers by the squash. Okay. That's you, baby. We don't know if they have a pollination problem. The real question is, are they getting any female flowers? Squash always spit out all those, let me get this straight. They'll spit out a bunch of female flowers first and no male flowers. That's what they need to look for. See the difference between them, because you can sit there and keep on poking inside them holes of them flowers all you want to, but if they all female flowers that you poking in all the holes, you doing that for nothing. You got to find and identify that male flower and get the pollen off of that male flower and do it. Like for instance, people with the pomegranate, people keep on doing this with all the little flowers. None of those be male flowers. No, I mean, none of those be female flowers. They all be male flowers. And then that one pomegranate flower is shaped like a peanut, like an hourglass, where the male flower is shaped like a bell, like a Reese Kiss. And you go doing that all day and you won't get no fruit. It'll look like it's forming a fruit and then it'll fall off. You'll get disappointed. That's because you just pollinating a whole bunch of dudes. Don't get me started on that. But yeah, will you do another backyard practicing your prep session? I didn't even click on that. That must have been God. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we are literally my whole family. I've even called my son like, hey, son, you're going to have to come in town. I told him why. For our anniversary, this month, at the end of this month, I am going to do, for our 30th anniversary, we're going to do a Practice Your Preps family edition on the land. Everybody going to be roughing it, toughing it. My son, his wife, my daughter, my son, my nephews, my sisters, if I can get them, everybody that's going to come is going to be on my land in a tent, because there is nothing else out there. So yes, I'm going to be doing it in my backyard here, coming up soon, because I got something to show y'all. It's not nothing, no merchandise. It's just something to show you. When I run this EcoFlow equipment, I want to have you in the actual setting. Okay, I don't want to just talk about it. I want to show you. So yes, it's coming. What can I grow on my patio with a big tree preventing direct sunlight? Are you talking about vegetables? You can grow a lot of stuff that needs a lot of shade. Now, here's another thing with that. I got to answer another question too. But we have in our head that all these vegetables and fruits and everything needs this direct sunlight. That couldn't be further from the truth. A lot of this stuff, citrus, apples, peaches, pear, a lot of this stuff don't even like direct sunlight. It's just something that we grew up thinking, right? That's why your bark of your tree gets scolded, your fruit gets scolded. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of shade. It's not going to be as big as the other fruit, but it's also going to be even more nutritious because you ain't burned it half to death. Okay, I'm going to answer this one. So you can grow almost anything. It depends on how much sunlight we're talking to, okay? I don't want it to sound ridiculous. Okay, the off-grid trucker. If I planted my elderberry plant, wait a minute. If I planted my elderberry plant, I burned a few acres of my land. I think I would burn it down. Will it grow back? It depends on how intense the fire was. Because elderberry is a root growing plant. You can run, which I'm starting to find out, so is a guava. It seems like you can't kill a guava tree. That's another story. I'll tell you about that later. But blackberries, raspberries, elderberries, they are root runners. So when you chop that top off with your lawnmower, and again, I don't know how intense your fire is, it should grow back. Okay. So I hope that helped you a little bit. I would still try to protect it, but Okay, here we go. V Good says, in Texas, it's been 2+ months over 105 degrees daily and at night, and nothing is producing, only surviving. Water is low, fertilizer burns. What can we do in this heat? Nothing. again, I said this earlier, you cannot control Mother Nature. The only thing you can do is put some shade cloth over your garden the best way you possibly can and pray. That's pretty much it. Okay. You cannot control Mother Nature. You just have to, that's the only way I can figure you can protect your vegetables. You got to get some kind of covering, shade cloth or something. The heat itself, besides the direct sunlight, the heat itself can be damaging too. But again, not a whole bunch you can do. Hey, Growing with Hudson. Growing with Hudson done bought her a tent by now. Growing with Hudson, I'm messing around and give you a tent. Hey, Unbiased LLC. Congratulations again, my sister. Unbiased LLC, y'all won the EcoFlow River 2 that I have my computer sitting on right now. Matter of fact, let me see if I can show it because I'm actually using one right now. This is the one that Unbiased LLC just won through EcoFlow. And tomorrow I'll be able to send her information in, and EcoFlow will send you your brand new EcoFlow River 2. Congratulations, my sister. No problem, Tiffany. No problem. I got you back. I got you. Has any of your pawpaw trees produced fruit yet? Have you eaten a pawpaw fruit? I've eaten pawpaw fruit before, but mine personally haven't produced. No. As a matter of fact, this has been the coolest. Well, I ain't gonna say that. This has been the best season for its growth. I have never seen it grow so fast because pawpaw grows so slow. This year, it probably grew 2 to 3 feet in just this season alone. Maybe it just wanted that heat. I don't know. That's right. Patience is a virtue when it comes to gardening. I know I'm way behind y'all, but I really want to get these questions because usually I'm running off at the mouth. I don't want to do that this time. I actually want to answer folks because that's what this whole video is about. Okay. Gia, and I appreciate y'all patience with me. Hi, I'm packing to move. I miss my garden already. Are you taking any of your plants with you? G Alexa, you might have missed a few of my videos, but absolutely. I am literally digging. I can show you well, you can't see out there. I took all of the trees that was right outside this window already. I did a whole video on it. And every one of those trees, my garden sat right there smack dab in the middle. All you see now is grass. I took all my plants, all of my trees, and I'm still not done. And the only reason I put it on pause is because the heat was so horrible. I didn't want to kill my trees. Yes, I'm taking everything. Everything. When the new homeowners purchase this house, I'm going to do my best not to leave any. I want it to be pretty and beautiful like they probably wanted in this neighborhood. Don't nobody want to grow no food. So, you know. Let me see. So Soil Soldier 70 says, when you fully move to Freedom Acres, do you plan to be more self-reliant as far as building your new home and detaching from this world system? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now I can answer that like this. I am not building my own home. That's utterly ridiculous for me right now. I'm a realist. I'm a realist. I don't have time to build a house with my bare hands. I can barely put up a chicken coop right now with my schedule, right? Now, with that being said, breaking off from detaching myself from all world systems. Wait, let me back up to the building my own house. Besides my schedule, I look at it like this, my brother. I don't have anything to brag or boast about. Say I built my house with my own 2 hands. Them days is I have nothing to prove. You have to ask yourself this. Building your house with your own 2 hands that's a pride thing. If you have the money because you put in the work and you had the money to have your house built to your specifications, that's your time that you just saved yourself. Probably saved yourself from going to the hospital. That's a hospital bill that you got to now pay. You know, I'm a realist, man. If I have the money, which when I sell this house, I'll have the money to build my wife a brand spanking new house to our specs. I'm not going to waste any of my time trying to prove something to somebody else because I don't have to prove anything to myself. I don't have that kind of time. Now, detaching myself from the world system this is arguable. I've gotten into this argument with a lot of different content creators and people in the comments, but I stand on top of this, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Detaching yourself from the world system is literally almost fracking possible. And a lot of people, when you hear us talk about off-grid, it's not the true, real off-grid. Everybody should know that by now. And I hear a lot of people getting a little pissed off when they hear people like me say, I'm moving off-grid. You cannot leave this system. They have built this system. I'm not going to go down that alley, okay? We're going to peek around a dumpster for a hot minute, though, okay? We ain't going to go down that alley. Peek around a dumpster. You cannot get away from this system. They have embedded and implanted this system in absolutely everything you do. Unless you're efficient in gardening, efficient in hunting, fishing, gathering, building, you have to be a perfectionist and a professional at every last aspect of survival. Not just you're good at building or just good at hunting or just good at gardening. You literally not just have to be good at absolutely all of those things. You have to be perfect at all of those things because they all have to be. You cannot miss. If you grow a garden and it fails, you don't eat. If you go hunting and ain't no animals around, you don't eat. If you go hunting for water and it's a drought, you don't drink. People keep saying that about leaving the whole system behind. And there are times, I know it is possible, but for the masses, it's almost damn near impossible. Okay. And in a lot of states, even when you do it, you actually pull it off. Some kind of way they find you and ask you, why aren't you, where's your meter on the side of your house? In some states, it's illegal to actually be off the grid. That's a lot of research you got to do on that too. So to me, I don't like saying I'm going to detach myself fully because that's a lie. Now, I can be attached to the grid and have solar panels. You don't have to use the grid just because they make you part of it. You don't have to go to Walmart just because it might be 20 miles away. What you do to be efficient is up to you. But let's be realistic. Now, I don't know how deep you mean. I'm just going off of what a few other folks done told me about this detaching from the world. You need a car. You need clothes. That was another one I left out. Can you make your own clothes? You making your own clothes, that means you also herding sheep and goat to get the wool, to do the sewing and making your own clothing out of their pelts. All of that. You got horses, you ride a horse for transportation. All of that. Even the Amish ain't, they have several different branches of Amish folks now, right? It's a lot of those Amish have broken off and they dibble and dabble in our world because they don't do everything 100%. It's somebody remind me and tell me what's the name of the Amish that just refuse. They refuse. We don't care about your phone. We are true to this. Those Amish folks are very rare now. Okay. So I don't plan on breaking off from the world system because that's fake. That's them lies. I know people that actually live off grid and literally have built their own homes and everything. And guess what? They go to work every day in the city. So it almost canceled. One thing cancels out another. You get what I'm saying? So then you got to truly ask yourself, are you truly broken away from the system? My answer to that is no. No, because the only reason you go into that job every day is to help support your lifestyle and your family. Truly being, breaking yourself away from this world, you don't need to go to work anymore. You don't need to go to this job. So to me, I'm a realist, and that's the realistic answer for that. I have no plans on building my own house. I'm 50 years old, and I don't got time to be doing. I want to put my wife in the house of her dreams, and let somebody else do that. While they're doing that, pay them, and I make money over here. I don't got to end up in the hospital from dehydration and all that stuff. Bust my hand. Okay, let me keep going. I hope that answered you too, my friend. Oh, I answered that one. But that was a good question because I've been that was a good question. There he is. There go my brother. What's up, Zach? Good to see you, man. Am I that far behind? I am. I'm gonna just keep going. My tangerine tree is growing well and has many small green tangerines. Should I take it out of the container? Why would you do that? What do you want to do that for? That's the question for that. Jennifer, Edie, why would you want to take it out? If you don't care about the fruit and you just want to plant it in the ground, you also got to ask yourself, are you up potting it or are you planting it in the ground? And then if you plant it in the ground, where do you live? Is it even possible? Yeah, you see that, Miss Green. People loving the cornfield. That's okay. That's okay. I just planted a whole new crop of corn, so there's plenty of space. Hi, I'm packing to move. I miss my garden. I answered that already. Okay. Got that one. Okay, we moving. Okay, here we go. Mona says, my husband and I are living in an apartment now. I think now, okay. But I brought my stackable tower, still growing our food. Okay, that you sound like me. I took my tubs out there. I'm gonna keep going. Keep going. I think we might be squared away. I'm gonna just zip to the bottom. Oh my God. Maybe not. I've seen a lot of question marks. Oh no, I'm doing them. Okay. All right, I'm back up with y'all. I'm catching up. I'm gonna have to skip a few. If I didn't get your question, re-ask it now, please. There we go. Thank you for this. Some of the strictest older Amish groups are in Nebraska Amish, White Top Amish, Troyer Amish, and Schwarzentuber Amish. Okay. I knew it was some names of them that they ain't going for it. But most of them, they got a cell phone somewhere in a booth that the whole village can use. Just one at a time. It's up. It got to be given to you by the leader and all that. But still, it's still a cell phone. So to me, one thing cancels out another. Just give everybody a phone. If you're going to do it, do it. Say, yeah, those hardcore Amish moved to the Amazon forest. I don't know about that. No, I don't know about that. All right. So if I didn't get a chance to answer your question, I'm going to do this for another 15 minutes and I'm going to call it a day. I don't want to make this another 3-hour video on y'all. I didn't even want to go this long, but I'm a slow reader and a long answerer. Receive my elderberry cutting today. Hey, Black Beekeeper, receive my elderberry cutting today. I got 2 green sprouts, but haven't gotten anything else. Should I just be patient and grow more? Yes, just if you just got it today, you shouldn't be expecting nothing right now. So the roots are going to grow first. Just trust me on this. What you're also going to see, if you just leave it in this bag like this, I don't want to unroll this because I actually feel the roots. I don't want to unroll this. This right here, I can feel this lump right here. See that? It ain't too much you got to do to these. Nothing. Just be patient. All right. New questions. Here we go. Do you have info on how and where to purchase a high riser to protect the plants from heat and frost? No, I say you build one. You can build them out of anything. As a matter of fact, most of us gardeners use a piece of cattle panel and we bend it in half and go over your garden bed and run your shade cloth over it. I've even seen it done even simpler than that. It does not have to be a whole Bob Vila style situation going on to keep the sun off, okay? How can I keep caterpillars off my kale? They are eating it up. I just use soap and water. I don't get into all of the crazy stuff. Soap and water always works for me. Or just shoot it hard with a water hose. It just works. It's not long term, but it just works. You know, if I'm going to sprinkle a bunch of chemicals on my plant or feed my plant a bunch of chemicals, I just may as well just go to McDonald's. Because if you putting a bunch of chemicals on your garden, let's be realistic. If you're putting a bunch of chemicals on your garden, you feeding your garden a bunch of chemicals, spraying it to keep the bugs off, the only reason you're gardening is for your own ego to say, I grew this. The whole trying to be healthier part and to rebel against the machine, as you will, because we know what they're doing to the food, you just cancel that out yourself by feeding it chemicals and spraying it with chemicals. So real, true organic food takes work. It takes work. So just saying, you got to stay on top of it. Me, water bottle, I can show you right now. True story. I go get one of these industrial sprayers. Y'all see me with these everywhere, even when I'm with my bees and everything. Put a little dish soap in there, a couple drops of dish soap, spray, spray, spray. You see them do the little wiggle dance, and they're done. That's it. I even stopped using neem oil. Somebody said neem oil. I even stopped using that. Somebody, oh, you did say peppermint oil. Now, peppermint oil, that seems to keep stuff away. The peppermint oil and the cinnamon oil. Matter of fact, everybody that got a cutting, you may smell cinnamon and peppermint. If you got a cutting from me like this, when you opened your bag, you may have smelt a little bit of cinnamon and peppermint. What that does is actually prevent mold, and it smells good, and it prevents bugs. Let me see here. Okay, I just received elderberry cuttings yesterday. Should I plant them now? It depends on where you live at. If you want to plant them now, no, it just depends on where you live at. Is it super hot still? Where do you plan on planting them? Don't plant them in direct sunlight. That really, it all depends, you know. Do you recommend learning how to forage? What do you mean by learning how to forage? Like off grid? You know, I don't recommend anything really, but learning how to forage, that's something you cannot go wrong with learning. You know, that's not even a question. What's wrong with neem oil? Nothing. It just seems to people always overdo it, and then you end up burning your plant even more. Than you end up damaging your plant with it more than whatever was going on with it in the first place. Remember, it is oil, and when it's hot outside, it will fry just like a piece of chicken. Put your collard greens in some oil and then heat it up to about whatever your temperature is, 100 degrees outside, right? 98 degrees, and watch that leaf wilt. It's been a lot of people everywhere that has seen this and come back out. I sprayed it with neem oil, but you sprayed it with neem oil the day before, but you also didn't know it was going to be 106 degrees tomorrow, and you come out there and you got a doggone salad going on, and you don't know what just happened to your plant. You fried it. You fried it. Literally fried it. So I got gallons of neem oil in here, and I don't even use it no more. I don't think I've used it in a couple of years now. Keisha, what seems to be going on? Say I did send an email about a week and a half ago, no response yet. I take that's to me. Keisha, ask your question. I'm gonna try to come up here and see it. It's probably a ways away. Okay. Will you have any more Parfianca pomegranate cuttings? I have my mulberry orient pear and elderberry cuttings. They are doing great. You know, I cut my pomegranates down to a knuckle. So I may not be able to do that again, okay? I'm sorry about that one, but it's almost all I have left is enough to take to the land with me. How you doing, Mavis? I hope that was the question that you had. Okay. Talea says this borders on what you were saying. I'm new to solar. I was psyched about the Bourgeois panels. You can do what the rooftop people do for so much less. Rooftop. I must be missing something. Jose says, Lead Farmer 73 to someone who is new to homesteading or just survival in general, what do you recommend, or are there other YouTubers you recommend? So when you say what do I recommend, what do you want to ask me? I'm here for you. What would you like to ask me? And if I can't answer it, I'll send you to other homesteaders that I actually know right here on YouTube and in the Greenhouse Lounge family, and I'll send you right over to them. I don't, because there's so much to homesteading, and there's so much to gardening, and so much to prepping. Me giving you a one-liner ain't gonna help you at all. I like these questions because what it does for me is let me know what I need to concentrate on so I can answer you properly. Okay, here we go. Talea says, can I offset some of the power I use with some of the panels like Bourgeois offer? I know nothing, but I'm super interested in learning. When you say, can you offset the power I use with some panels, you're talking about will your solar panels and your solar power generator cut your bill down? If that's the actual question you're asking, of absolutely, because you won't be using your grid power, you'll be using solar panel like I have all around me. We use these solar power generators constantly. All right, let me keep it going. I'm trying to stay on top of this. Lisa Max says, I started my elderberry indoors yesterday, and I want to know, when do I transplant outdoors in Georgia? Okay, see, I can answer that because I know where she is. It's still hot in Georgia. I wouldn't transplant anything in the ground right now. I wouldn't transplant. Listen to me. I wouldn't put nothing in the ground right now. If you just purchased a pear tree or peach tree from Home Depot, I wouldn't put that in the ground right now because the weather is so crazy. I wouldn't put anything in the ground until the weather, the high, drops to about 70. When you got a constant 70-ish from anywhere from 75 and below, that's me. Because I know until down here in the South, in Georgia and in South Carolina, when it get below 75 and stay there for a week or so, you kind of can almost say it's going to be hanging around there for a while. But when you start going 76 and it's 76 and an 80-ish, you might pop up and get a 98-degree day and ruin everything. So kind of wait till it cool off a little more before you plant it. That elderberry going to take off even if you plant it in the winter, okay? That I wouldn't plant anything right now. Not me personally. Hey, Miss V, make this go viral. I'm sorry, Miss How you doing today? Let me see. Here we go. Led, my citrus tree leaves are curling and I have some slimy substance on them. Idea what that is. Yes, that is what that is called it's poop. Basically, that's poop. You have, God, y'all help me. And the ants is eating the poop. Aphids. You have aphids, and the aphids are drinking the juices out of your citrus tree, and they're letting off a thing called honeydew. That is their poop, and the ants are eating the poop, and the ants are running the poop back and forth. So they work in a symbiotic relationship. They are best friends. You give us the poop, and us as the ants will protect you. So they keep running up and down a tree. That's why you got ants in that doggone tree. You get rid of the aphids, you get rid of the ants. Okay, so all you have to do, you take a little bit of soapy water, like I said earlier, or just shoot your citrus tree with a water hose with some pressure on it, spray it with a little soapy water. That gets rid of everybody. Okay, and don't be scared to wipe your leaves off either. Take a little rag or a paper towel and soapy water and wipe your leaves off if your tree is, small enough. I hope that answered your question. Tam says, I moved a peach tree to my new property. It went into shot, which it should have. I pruned it back, shouldn't have done that. I've been babying it all season in a container. How should I prep it for Chicago winter? Woo. My first question before I answer any of that is, you said you moved to your new property. Were you already in Chicago? Because if you move from somewhere hot to Chicago, then you got a problem. Your peach tree may not be able to take it. But if it's in a container, let me see. I've been babying all season in a container. It's in a container. I would need to know more. I can answer that a bunch of different ways. Can you email me at leadfarmer73@yahoo.com? Okay, because that sounds a little sticky. Says hi, Led. I have my Orient pear cutting rooting outside in the shaded corner. I live in Gwinnett County, Georgia. Yes. You want to keep a little warmth on it, but all shade. Do not put those cuttings in direct sunlight. You'll kill it. So yes, that sounds okay to me. Let me see. I think I missed some. Hold on. Okay. Should I wait until it's cooler to transplant my raspberries and blackberries in the ground too? Yes, I would. I just would. And you said, where are you at? In Minnesota? I don't know what your weather is right now, but Minnesota ain't a whole bunch different from Ohio and Michigan. I think it's safe to say you may be okay, because I just saw my girl game nerd mom and she had a hoodie on. So it might be hit. What is this, September? Or y'all getting that chill now? Y'all about to be in winter by the end of this month, damn near. I think it's okay for you to go to start planting your stuff in the sun, journey under the sun. But just to back it up, go do some research and check, okay? Let's see here. Hi, Leg. Can you grow elderberry in a container? You can, but I wouldn't, because it's going to falter. I wouldn't do that. You can, but it's not going to do what it's supposed to do. All you will have is a little plant, an elderberry plant. Elderberry, really, I think I took that to the land. I actually have an elderberry in a container, and I've had it there for over a year. I want to see if I got it out here for a second. Hold on. Because if I do, I'm going to show it to you. I think I took it to the land with me. But the reason I say that, it's been in there for over a year, and I think it's only this tall. It doesn't fruit or anything. So you're doing yourself a disservice trying to plant a running rooted plant in a container. Anything that's going to run you're going to do it a disservice by putting it in a container. Oh, I got that one. Let me keep going. We coming up on that time, y'all. We coming up on that time. We coming up on that time. Okay, got that. Got that. Thank you, TLC. Hey, Nakia, how you doing? You almost look familiar to me. Say, I have a muscadine vines that are producing small muscadines. How do I care for them? They have taken over. They have taken over one side of my yard. How do you care for them? You know, grapes need to be pruned, even muscadines. You don't let them just run all over the place. They'll literally take over your entire yard if you let them. Any kind of grapes. You have to prune your grapes. And I wish I had video footage of how I used to prune my grapevine, professionally prune it and not just let it sprawl all out. I wish I would have recorded that back in the day. But you got to prune that back. You're going to have to literally cut that thing back and just wait probably a season and let it grow back the way you want it to. It's still going to fruit. You almost can't kill a muscadine. Hey, Q Williams say, Uncle Led, I took my cuttings out late, took the old leaves off, and did your vermiculite bag method. Did I ruin my cuttings or only time will tell? I don't know. I would have to see exactly what you got going on. If you just did it, like I just told a few other people, be patient because a cutting is a cutting. It has no roots, has no leaves. Just chill. It should be fine. The vermiculite and the perlite method that I did, that's an excellent way to start a cutting. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all, which I almost did today. I'll probably do it later. I'm going to be taking lemon cuttings, and I'm going to tell y'all why I'm taking those lemon cuttings off of some lemon trees, actual lemon trees. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show it. We're going to do it live together. Do it live together, and I'm going to tell y'all why I'm doing it, okay? Got that. Okay, here we go. Say, I started my elderberry cuttings in a 17-gallon laundry bucket, and it's over 6 feet tall. That's because the bucket's so big, and it fruited. Just be aware the roots found their way into the ground. Oh, that's why it got big. It busts through the water holes and it's actually tapped into the ground. Just like a blackberry would do, a raspberry would do. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Okay, here we go. Jennifer says, hi, all the way from Barbados. Okay. Any advice on how to take care of 3 lemon? How to take care of lemon 3 weeks? I don't understand the question. Any advice on how to take care of lemon 3 weeks? I ask me that again, okay? Because I'm not quite sure how you wanted to put that actually. 3 weeks. Oh, yeah, ask that again. So that's the big reason I like living in the South. Our growth season is longer. All American pepper, absolutely. Absolutely. After living down here for so long, I can't even imagine me living back up north. There's nothing against my family and my folks in the north. I just can't imagine it anymore. Always, most of my life, most of my year being in coats and snowsuits and hats and gloves and boots. I can't, even if it's fashionable, I just cannot imagine having to do that anymore. I just can't. Okay, Q's Barbecue Heaven say, I have a peach in the ground, but I want to replace it with a persimmon and put the peach in a pot. Will that hurt the peach? No, it won't hurt the peach depending on how big it is. But what are you saying? You only have space for the pomegranate? Is that it? Because I have videos on how to transplant a tree from the ground into a container and vice versa. You might want to check that out, okay? I think it's called like how to relocate your fruit trees, something like that. Blessed Queen says, Led, I have one of your Orient pear cuttings. It's in a container and has started growing leaves. Should I take the plastic off? Whatever is happening, number one, I would need to see it. Whatever is happening, I need to see it before I answer that. If it's growing, if the plastic is touching the leaf, email me the picture, please. I don't even want to touch that because everything is going good. I don't want to say, yeah, just go out there and plant in the yard. Just hold on a minute. Email me that one, okay? Thank you so much, All American Prepper. It's good to meet you, my friend. So I'm glad I found it. I'm going to subscribe. Thank you. I do the same. Everybody that subscribes to me, I subscribe to them, okay? Nakia says, how do we get cuttings from you? You can go to my website at easilygrowngarden.com. I'm a /products. I'm terrible at typing. Y'all can hear. Y'all can hear me typing like a baby, pretending to type. You can go to our website at easilygrowngarden.com /products, and we'll have the cuttings online for sale. Let me see. Tim, take that down for me, okay? Tim Riley, take that down for me. I don't want to, they don't make it where I can just take it down. They make it where I got to get rid of you, and I don't want to get rid of you. I got to, brother. Okay, still on it, Space a minute. Okay. I got the face like Sling Blade. French fried taters. Okay, here's one. Tim, move my balcony garden indoors due to brickwork. Can you suggest an indoor grow light? It depends on what you have in your garden. All of that depends, okay? I'm trying to remember this one grow light that we have. I think it's from Vivor Grow Light. Email me so I can give you the exact name of this grow light that I have. Literally, I'm looking at it right now over my chocolate plants. Okay, here we go. How you doing, Terrence B? Say, Layer Farmer 73, how did your Orient pear air layer do so far since last month? I haven't even looked in it. That's that whole thing I be talking about, patience. I don't got to keep peeking. I know it's going to take over 30 days, especially now that I'm doing it late in the summer where the juices in the tree, they are not running like they run in the spring. In the spring, that thing be wet all inside in the trunk, right? During the summer to the fall, the tree is starting to dry up because it's preparing to go to sleep. So it's going to take a little longer, just like the pecan trees that I did. So I haven't even looked. I tell you what, I'll go take a peek. I don't think nothing is going to do nothing that's going to make me do anything right off the bat. So okay, here's that question again. Okay. Hey, all the way from Barbados, any advice on how to take care of my lemon babies 3 weeks? See, that's still throwing me off. 3 weeks what? I planted 20 seeds. Oh, you planted 20 seeds in a 2-inch tall they are now want to transplant them eventually. They're 2 inches tall. You need, oh, okay, if I'm reading this right, okay, which I'm probably not. If your lemon trees are about 2 inches tall, the roots are so stiff. The roots on a lemon seed are going to be as stiff as the trunk of that little plant. You can go ahead and pull them and separate them. You ain't going to break the root, and go plant it in something else. Separate them immediately. I hope I answered that good. And I have a message for, before I keep going, I have a message for J3GS Farm. Let me show you something, my brother. J3GS Farm. I want to show you. I know he probably back to doing something else, but if he catch this, somebody tell him. J3GS Farm. Do you see that? That just lets you see how viable those miracle berry seeds are. Dude, they popped up. I planted them just messing around. They popped up that quick. So I sent J3GS some miracle berry seeds. And this is what they do, bro. Just so you know. Okay. I had to show you that. That J3GS Farms, that's for you. Just to show you this how them seeds gonna work out for you, man. If anybody has ever tasted, I don't even know what I deal with them seeds. Anybody ever had a miracle berry fruit? Anybody? Have you ever had a miracle berry fruit? It's a little red fruit that changes your taste buds and make everything bitter and sour sweet. Anybody? It's called a miracle berry fruit for a reason. It's a miracle how it changes your tongue and makes sour things like lemon juice. It'll make lemon juice taste like lemonade. I've seen them down in Florida for years. You know, I got a little place down in Florida, little timeshare condo, and I've been down there every year, and I always see these plants. Always, they be for sale for like $10, $15. This was before the thing, happened in 2020. You will see a plant $20, $10. Nothing. I've been walking past that plant forever because it said this grows native in Africa. I'm like, oh, I ain't trying to go grow nothing from Africa here. I know it's going to die, right? Let me tell you something. I was over Black's Tropical Homestead. We went out to go visit them in Savannah, Georgia. Sherry said, Led, you got to taste this. And I said, I've been seeing them for years. I ain't never tasted one, though. I heard about them. Sherry and Bobby let me and Lady Led taste a little miracle fruit. We took one seed, tasted it. I ate a little half of it. She said, roll it around on your tongue. Gave the rest of the seed, the little fruit, tiny little fruit like a Tic Tac. Gave it to Lady Led. Roll it around. Then Bobby said, hey, go get him a piece of that lemon and get him a piece of a pickle. Sherry go in the house, bring out freshly cut lemon and a pickle. Lady Led does not like pickles. She's not a pickler. She will eat some relish, though. When you bite into a pickle after tasting this fruit, it tastes like a sweet pickle, a sweet gherkin. When you taste the lemon, it tastes like lemonade. Literally changes your whole taste buds for about an hour. That's what this plant does. And it fruits ferociously. So I have a bunch of these seeds now that I'm going to have to actually sell some soon. And these are coming fresh from my tree. Now, after Sherry And Bobby from Black's Tropical Homestead, let me taste that fruit. Y'all know good and well when I went, I ain't gonna say, I had to order me one. Let's put it like that. So how you doing, Susie Q? Say, how long did it take those miracle berry seeds to come up? I want to say this was like 30 days ago. About 30 days. Because I ain't been paying them no attention. And here they are. Not a question led, but I wanted to share that we have successfully sprouted peppers from seeds from our peppers from the store. Pretty excited. Now, that's something I do because I do. That's something I usually do because pepper seeds, I'm not a pepper aficionado. So, you know, a jalapeno pepper going to taste pretty much like a jalapeno pepper to me. I don't care if it alters a little bit. So definitely tomatoes and peppers, I don't be caring about growing that stuff from seed. You know, but when it comes to those fruit trees, it throws you off a little bit. Congratulations. Says Miracle Berry, great for folks who have to take medication for cancer. It get rid of that nauseating metallic taste so they don't throw up and lose nutrition. That's good to know. That is good to know. Okay. All right, that's about it. Been in here about an hour and 45 minutes. I said 1.5. So I want to say, everybody, thank you for everything. Thank you for all the wonderful questions. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. You learn with Robert. Hey, man, email me at leadfarmer73@yahoo.com. All right. You learn with Robert. Email me at leadfarmer73@yahoo.com. Thank you. Here we go right here. Good day. I'd like to know if watermelon can be harvested all year round. It depends on where you live at. It depends on where you live at. What's your climate? Okay. All right. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for coming by, hanging out with me. And I'm glad I could answer any questions. I thought I was going to get more questions about tents. I'm going to end this with that question. Somebody asked me what's better to get because they're about to purchase a tent. Should they get a canvas tent or should they get a nylon tent? My answer to that is it depends on what you're doing it for. What if this is your first time camping? A good nylon tent is going to cost you some money. And in that case, you know, I would say I would go with, I hate saying this, but it's just the truth. If you're a first time camper and you've never set up a tent before, okay, this is how I'm answering. Go ahead and go buy you a little a Walmart tent. Little 3-man Walmart tent costs you about $24. Okay, do that. Have fun with that. Practice with that. But when it comes to actually spending some money on a good tent, I would go with canvas right out the bat. I would go straight to canvas. I wouldn't even deal with nylon tent. I would just go, if you're going to spend that much money on a nylon tent, put a couple more dollars with it and get a canvas tent. Okay. That was answered a bunch of questions. That same question keeps coming up. So I hope that answered that. Everybody have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Sunday. Lead Farmer 73. I love you until you give me a reason not to. Everybody have a wonderful day. Lead Farmer 73. I love you and I'm out. Peace.